It was a big day in Washington, just off the heels of President Trump announcing his pick for U.S. Supreme Court Justice. The Senate confirms 3 cabinet positions.
The New York State Attorney General is filing a lawsuit against Charter Communications for fraud over a slow internet connection.
DPS receives a $90,000 grant. Find out what it's for and how it helps the entire campus community.
May have changed from time.
TV News live at 6, your campus news leader.
Hello and welcome to Citrus TV News live at 6. I'm Meghan Mistry.
And I'm Brittany Muller. Extreme measures were taken today in the Senate to approve members of Trump's cabinet. That's our top story.
Former chairman and chief executive of ExxonMobil, Rex Tillerson, was confirmed by the Senate to become Secretary of State. Senate Republicans took drastic measures to approve the nominees for Treasury and Health Secretaries. Despite the boycott from Democrats on the Senate Finance Committee over the past 2 days, the Republicans pushed the vote forward to approve the candidates without the Democrats present. Both nominations of Tom Price for Health and Human Services Secretary and Steve Mnuchin for Treasury Secretary will move on for a final confirmation vote by the full Senate.
We took some unprecedented actions today due to the unprecedented obstruction on the part of our colleagues. As I noted earlier, the Senate Finance Committee has traditionally been able to function in even the most divisive political environments. That all changed yesterday.
Syracuse University's annual Black History Month celebration begins tonight with a kickoff event at 7 in the Shine Student Center. The month-long festivities include performances, lectures, art exhibitions, and other events. The programs celebrate the rich and diverse backgrounds of Black people all over the world. The entire campus community is encouraged to attend as many of these events as possible. A driver responsible for a 3-vehicle crash is facing charges after she told police she was high on drugs. It happened to DeWitt earlier yesterday evening. Police say the driver side-swiped a car, then crashed into a pickup truck. Officers say hypodermic needles were also found in the vehicle. The victims were taken to the hospital with minor injuries.
A Gettysburg supervisor has pleaded guilty to felony eavesdropping for ordering his secretary to listen to the conversations in town hall. He used a camera to eavesdrop on employees he felt were problematic, but none of the conversations recorded were used against them. He has already resigned as town supervisor and will face a sentence no worse than 5 years of probation. Everyone is safe after a bomb threat at the Jewish Community Center in DeWitt Tuesday morning. Police say the center received a threatening phone call at 10:28 yesterday morning. The call was made shortly after the Jewish Community Center of Albany received a similar call. This is the second scare for the DeWitt Center in less than a month after another threat on January 18th. And in other news, the Department of Public Safety just received a grant to buy new body cameras. David Edelstein talked to an officer who said it's a major upgrade for the department.
I think students would benefit by them having cameras on because it would show students that DPS is really there to help them and there to protect them and keep them safe.
DPS will have 77 ways of doing that after receiving a grant to buy new body cameras. The nearly $90,000 from the Federal Bureau of Justice will move the body camera program from what was a trial run to full implementation.
Since there was less cameras than officers, they were used on a rotational basis. Now each officer has their own camera designated specifically for them.
DPS says the grant has allowed them to purchase cameras for all their peace officers and some extra. DPS says the spare cameras will be used for part-time officers and in case any cameras malfunction. DPS says that the body cameras will help both the officers and the students by holding everyone accountable.
There's an accurate depiction of what happened, so maybe complaints against officers will be reduced. Interactions that might escalate to where use of force is needed would be reduced because it's not a he said, she said anymore. There's a video account of what occurred.
Detective McClellan added that with the body camera technology, DPS is one of the leading safety departments in the area.
It's another tool we have to be transparent and open and accountable with our community.
David Edelstein, CitrusTV News.
Now, the department already has the cameras. They say in addition to accountability, the cameras will help train new officers.
New York senators want to give more protection to first responders. The Community Heroes Protection Act, introduced on Monday night, will make it a hate crime to attack police officers, firefighters, and other EMS workers. The bill was introduced in response to the 2012 Christmas Eve killing of 2 volunteer firefighters. And New York attorney
Engineers called this method, quote, putting lipstick on a pig. Ladies and gentlemen, for years, Spectrum Time Warner has been promising one thing and delivering another. It's important to know that the allegations in our complaint concern an ongoing deception. The name of the company may have changed from Time Warner to Spectrum, but the company has not changed its pattern of providing slower speeds than advertised. The company's motto might as well be, new day, same fraud.
New York Attorney General Eric Schneiderman is suing Charter Communications over slow internet speeds. Charter is the parent company of Spectrum, which was formerly known as Time Warner Cable. Schneiderman claims the company failed to address network problems that resulted in slower than promised speeds. The suit is coming seeking compensation for customers affected.
Governor Cuomo is launching a social media campaign to raise awareness about teen dating abuse. The campaign, called Control Isn't Love, aims to educate teens about the signs of abuse and how to seek help. The governor is also marking February as Teen Dating Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. New Yorkers are encouraged to raise awareness in their communities by sending virtual Valentines promoting healthy relationships. We were finally seeing some sun today.
Yes, Megan, the sun was in and out all day. So Brendan, can we expect to see some more sun and coldy, windy conditions going to continue this week?
Yeah, guys, we can expect that, but there's more snow than there is sun in our 5-day forecast. Today, 35 degrees was your high, 21 was the low. We saw a bunch of snow on the ground when you woke up this morning. That got cleared out. We saw some flurries throughout the day. The big story was the wind gusts at 29 miles per hour. Taking a look at your current temperatures, 34 here in Syracuse, so any precipitation that's falling will actually be in the form of snow, even though that temperature is above 32 because of how cold it is on the surface with the wind. However, down in Elmira and Binghamton, 37 degrees, they're seeing some rain. Your current radar showing mostly snow. It's coming off the lakes. Lake effect snow machine time of the year. It's in full effect, and coming up with my full 5-day forecast, we'll take a look at how that's going to affect us coming into your weekend.
Coming up after the break, we'll take a closer look at Trump's Supreme Court nominee.
And construction is moving forward on the Dakota Access Pipeline. We'll be right back.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Visit aarp.org/caregiving for information on how to provide even better care for the person who wants to care of you.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. that no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
You're watching CitrusTV News with Meghan Mistry, Brittany Muller, and Brendan Tierney with weather. CitrusTV News continues now.
Delaware's largest prison is on lockdown due to a hostage situation. A spokeswoman from the State Department of Corrections said the number of hostages and whether the hostages are officers is unknown. The prisoners houses 2,500 inmates, including maximum security prisoners. The state and other 4 prisoners were also placed on lockdown.
The chairman of the House Oversight Committee is under fire over his 2-year plan for the committee. Critics are angry that none of the 43 items directly addresses possible conflicts of interest related to Donald Trump's businesses. However, the Utah congressman stands by the integrity of his agenda.
Well, the items that we listed are broad strokes. This is the Trump administration, so by definition, all of those 43 items are going to be about what's going on in the Trump administration. Now, we're obviously going to have to look back. If you're going to look at what the government has been doing, that'll be on the Obama administration. I will deal with the situations with Donald Trump one at a time. I am not going to personally target the president. I didn't do that with Barack Obama. But as issues come up, we'll deal with them one at a time.
President Trump has nominated Neil Gorsuch to the empty seat on the Supreme Court. Trump made his long-awaited nominee announcement last night in the East Room of the White House. Gorsuch sits on the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver and is a staunch constitutionalist.
Political experts say this pick will regain the balance among the court after the death of former Justice Antonin Scalia. Democrats, still hurt after the abandonment of former President Obama's pick Merrick Garland, are expected to fight the nomination.
I want to say loud and clear that this nominee to the Supreme Court is the worst nightmare for feminists and women everywhere and for civil rights and human rights advocates. But it is his original intent philosophy, or his originalist philosophy, would take us back. It's so extreme that even Scalia, Justice Scalia himself, did not support it.
The Army Corps Engineers is moving forward on the construction of the Dakota Access Pipeline. Acting Secretary of the Army Robert Speer said he gave the order to continue construction of the pipeline, which is entering the final stages of construction.
Senators and representatives from South Dakota are praising Speer's decision. The pipeline was shut down during the final months of the Obama administration, but was revived when President Trump signed an executive order continuing the construction.
The wife of the Orlando shooter is appearing in court on Wednesday. Noor Salman was charged with aiding and abetting the obstruction of justice.
Federal prosecutors believe Salman knew of her husband's plan to open fire on customers at the Pulse nightclub last June, resulting in the death of 49 people. If Salman is found guilty, she faces the possibility of life in prison.
And former Vice President and Syracuse alum Joe Biden announced today that he and his wife are starting a charitable foundation. The goal of the Biden Foundation is to support and advance the equal rights of all people.
The foundation will support issues and causes such as the Cancer Moon Initiative, the Violence Against Women Act, and affordable education. Biden announced the foundation in a press conference, saying he was optimistic about the future and calling the millennial generation, quote, the most open, tolerant, and generous generation in American history.
Members of the UK Parliament are debating Donald Trump's planned state visit after a petition asking officials to cancel the visit garnered 1.6 million signatures.
Demonstrators across the UK took to the streets to protest the visits. Anger arose after Donald Trump signed an immigration ban just hours after Prime Minister Theresa May left the White House.
Downgrade the visit, and very few people are arguing there shouldn't be an American presidential visit, but it shouldn't be with a full panoply of state, because therefore it signifies approval of the President's actions. Now, the President's actions are incurring opposition domestically, but around the world, around the planet, you do not want to be associated with that type of action.
Iran has confirmed that they conducted a missile test last weekend. This is a test of one of several since 2015 nuclear deal. U.S. officials have called the test unacceptable and a violation of the UN Secretary Council resolution.
Iran's defense minister stands by the test and believes it was not in violation of the resolution. The U.S. ambassador to the United Nations, Nikki Haley, condemned the test.
What we need them to know is that Security Council Resolution 2231 means something. We didn't do it just for the sake of doing it. We did it in the idea of it being respected.
From the Citrus TV Weather Center, this is SU's most accurate weather forecast.
So we saw lots of snow today, and there's more on the way thanks to the low pressure systems and cold fronts that are heading our way. As you take a look at your surface analysis map, you're able to see lots of lake effect snow heading in our direction, and you're able to see that definitely for sure on our future radar. Lake effect snow is moving through the area tomorrow morning and into tomorrow afternoon. Not that heavy, we're just going to see a few inches, but definitely bundle up if you're heading out tomorrow. The worst snow is on its way even later in the week. Tonight, not that bad, however. Low is going to be 21 degrees, so bundle up if you're heading out to watch the basketball game. They're down in North Carolina where it's much warmer than it is up here. It's going to be feeling like 14 degrees tonight, and because of that, any snow that's on the ground from today that wasn't cleared will be icing over, so tomorrow morning, watch your footing heading out the door. For your 5-day forecast, not that bad overall. You do see snow every day, however. 28 degrees tomorrow, coating to an inch of snow. Then the real snow moves into the area on Friday. 4 to 8 inches will be arriving in our area on Friday afternoon. It stays in the area Saturday morning, so bundle up if you're heading to the basketball game. Break out those snow boots. Sunday, 32 degrees, a bit of snow. It's going to be very windy. And then Monday, finally, we're getting out this pattern.
Okay, so Groundhog Day is tomorrow. What do you expect Phil to say?
Well, I always expect Tuxatani Phil to see his shadow. I mean, there's lights all over him. Last year he didn't. I think he's going to go back to seeing his shadow. We're seeing a little more winter.
Very exciting.
Thank you, Brendan. And
coming up on Citrus TV News, another major company is taking a stand against the travel ban. Find out who is the latest to consider taking legal actions against Trump's ban.
And fans will have a new way to watch the Super Bowl this year. All this and more in just 90 seconds.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. Could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Taking care of a family member can lead to plenty of questions. Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
Look at you. You're at the top of your game. You're unstoppable. Nothing can throw you off track. Wait, is that your car? Uh-oh. Yeah, I saw that coming. That will throw you off track. You're looking at around 10 grand in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates. Let's try this again. Smart move. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
You're watching Citrus TV News with Meghan Mistry, Brittany Muller, and Brendan Tierney with weather. Citrus TV News continues now.
January marks 92 consecutive months of expanding economic activity for the country. The manufacturing sector is also off to a good start this year. The Institute for Supply Management Index was released at 56 instead of the projected 55. This is a 1.5% increase from December. Any reading above 50% indicates the manufacturing economy is expanding. And Apple is the latest in a string of companies to consider legal action against Trump's travel ban. The executive order targets refugees and citizens of 7 majority Muslim countries. According to CEO Tom Cook, the ban has affected several hundred Apple employees. Cook says he has been in contact with White House about repealing the ban. Apple joins Amazon and travel booking company Expedia in legal action against the ban.
The director of the film The Salesman will not attend the Academy Awards. Asghar Farhadi, the Iranian director of the film, is not allowed to enter the United States since Iran is one of the nations listed on Trump's travel ban. Farhadi says that even if there was an exception in the ban that would allow him to attend the awards, he still would not go. The Salesman is up for an Oscar for Best Foreign Language Film. Thanks to Fox, their virtual reality partner Live highlights of Super Bowl 51 will be available in VR app. 20 highlights from throughout the game will appear on the Fox Sports app. Fans can either use a virtual reality headset or their smartphone to enjoy the different perspectives. 6 cameras in the Houston NRG Stadium will be placed in strategic locations, including the 50-yard press box and at the end zone.
Coming up in sports, Syracuse basketball looks for its first win away from the Carrier Dome, and the Orange football team brings in some new faces. All that and more is up next.
This is the story of a boy who didn't talk for a long time. The boy liked things to always be the same. Any changes would scare and upset him. The unknown was an unfriendly place. The boy was very sensitive to lights and sounds. So he built secret hiding places where they couldn't get in. The boy didn't like looking people in the eye. He wasn't trying to be mean, it just made him feel uncomfortable. Sometimes he would flap his arms again and again.
One day I found out I have something called autism. My family got me help. Slowly, I found my voice and learned all the ways I could live with it better.
Early intervention can make a lifetime of difference. Learn the signs at autismspeaks.org.
Got a quarter?
And now, your Citrus TV Sports Report.
Hi, I'm Marco Sochi. Syracuse hits the road tonight in search of its first road win of the season. The Orange are down in Raleigh to take on NC State. The Wolfpack come into this one having lost 5 of their last 7. Despite the struggles, Andrew White and the Orange aren't taking NC State lightly.
It feels big just because it's 2 in a row, and any win on a Saturday going into a road test is big for you. So, you know, I'm not a believer that each game is big or smaller than another. They all count the same in ACC play. So I think because, you know, they were a highly regarded team, I think that kind of gives everybody some confidence. But we could turn around and lose the next 2 games if we don't come in with the mindset that we need to have. So you want to take that win, put it in your pocket, learn from it, and let's try to improve and go get 1 or 2 more.
Syracuse at NC State comes at you from PNC Arena tonight at 7. The Orange looking for its 3rd straight win. That's something they haven't done since starting the season 4-0. After the game, be sure to come right back here to Citrus TV and OTN for all your post-game coverage. Orange Press Pass gets started at 11. College football's National Signing Day is upon us as Syracuse welcomed 22 new players into the fold. The highest-rated recruit that head coach Dino Babers reeled in is four-star quarterback Tommy DeVito from Don Bosco Prep in New Jersey. Some of the other notables are linebacker Nadarius Fagan, local high school star Eric Coley, defensive end and fullback Chris Elmore. How about that? He gets it done on both sides of the ball. And Ifeatu Melifonwu, who stuck with the Cuse despite a late recruiting push from Michigan. Signing day is usually about the future, but head coach Dino Babers is ready to bring these guys in right away.
When I think about the 2017 recruiting class, I think about the 2017 football team. I think we have a fantastic football team coming back. I think we have a lot of experience. We'd like to take these young men and put them in the underbelly of our football program. And if they can rise to the top, or rise to the top, so to speak, and can make a name for themselves, so be it. If not, we'll put them in the oven. We'll bake them for a while, and we'll see them next year. But they're part of our family, and we're excited that they're here.
The Syracuse women's lacrosse team was picked to finish second in the ACC in the coaches' preseason poll. SU also had two players make the preseason All-ACC team. Senior defender Kaylee O'Connor and junior attacker Riley Donahue were the two earning the honors. Donahue looks to carry the momentum over from a stellar sophomore season in which he posted career highs in every statistical category. Hey, if you can't watch the Orange on the court tonight, there are two other big ACC matchups to keep an eye on. Syracuse's next opponent, number 9 Virginia, hosts in-state rival Virginia Tech. And fresh off a dome loss, number 15 Florida State heads downstate to Miami to take on the Hurricanes. Both games get underway at 8. It's the battle for the Big Apple. The Knicks take on the Nets in Brooklyn tonight, with each team looking for bragging rights. And that's about it. Brooklyn owns a league-worst 9-39 record, while New York has lost 16 of its last 21 games. The game tips at 7:30.
Coming up, we'll have one last look at the weather.
Stay tuned.
Can lead to plenty of questions.
Yeah.
Fortunately, there's a place to get the answers, for them and for you. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
They said a bottle was just a bottle. That no one would ever notice me. But I knew I could be more. That one day, I would make people smile.
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Coming up on OTN, On the Bench, followed by Syracuse Stories at 7. You can see the whole schedule at CitrusTV.com. Thanks for watching. I'm Meghan Mistry.
And I'm Brittany Muller. Have a great night, Syracuse.